Hello, I'm Selena Teams, the founder of Successful You, a publishing services company. I have operated in the self-publishing space since 2011 when I published my first book. And I knew nothing about self-publishing, which in a way was pretty ideal because it put me in the position to learn so much about the industry. And I have to say, so much has changed. Self-publishing is not the ugly stepchild that it used to be. And there are so many tools in the marketplace to help authors become self-published in a very polished and professional way. But over that time, a couple of things have not changed. So specifically, what has not changed is that authors want to make meaningful revenue from the works of their imagination, from their intellectual property, from the base of their knowledge and experience that they write about. And what hasn't changed is that self-publishing service providers, such as the creatives, the freelancers, they too want to make meaningful income from their valuable services. So the problem that authors pretty much have is that they are not earning enough money to invest in high quality publishing support. So the statistics kind of show that the authors who invest in the quality editing, developmental editing, and not do everything themselves, that they outsource some key aspects of the self-publishing process. These are authors who have been earning 4 figures and sometimes 5 figures from their books. Well, we know that selling books for $2.99 or $7.99 or $10.99 is pretty challenging to get to 4 and 5 figures in the millions of books that are published every year. I think the number is somewhere around 300 million books are published. There are over 1 million self-published authors. And so in a sea of authors, in an ocean of books, it's pretty challenging to stand out and command that level of income from your books. So authors tend to go the DIY route, meaning, very little is outsourced and everything is done themselves. And I believe the problem with that is that if your strength and gift is in the written content, then it's not likely that you're going to be an expert in all the other pieces of the self-publishing puzzle that added to your amazing written content would make your book a profitable product in the marketplace. So that's pretty much a challenge. It's a financial constraint that authors face. Then again, there's also a lot of information in the self-publishing domain, and it's easy to fall into the trap of buying every tool when you don't know exactly what you need. So I've seen many promotions for kids and programs to make you a bestseller if you don't want to promote your book, if you don't want to have an email list, and so on. That could be attractive because it tells you won't have to do the things that it takes to sell a book. But in reality, books have to be marketed. And to be able to become a bestseller without marketing and without selling is, kind of like a flag, I would say. So I understand the appeal of letting someone tell you don't need to do that lift or to take that off of your plate. But it is part and parcel with being a successful self-published author. So I see a lot of authors continue to miss success because they are trying to apply strategies that don't work well for their genre, that don't work well for the target market that they want to reach. So this significant work that you put in to write this book and to publish this book, your book is published but not selling, and authors don't know what to do. They keep missing success because they don't see a path forward to earning enough income from their self-published books. So in the same neighborhood of self-publishing, we have the publishing creatives. And that element of the community, they have the goods to help a book become a bestseller. They bring the expertise in the different disciplines that they offer that would make a book an easy read. It would make it easy on the eyes when you're looking at the formatting and the fonts. It would make the book attractive to pick up from the, you know, the thumbnails that you see on your screen or the book cover that's on the shelf. The expertise that the self-publishing creatives bring are crucial, because you could have a very phenomenal story, lesson, memoir, but if it is not even appealing enough to pull off the shelf to look at, because remember, the readers have so many choices. And on top of that, when they do pull it off the shelf and open it up, if it's something that doesn't grab their attention, you miss that opportunity. And so the self-publishing creatives bring that to an author's aid to help them sell their books. And what we're seeing is that they tend to pretty much solely offer their services on a per word basis, a per page basis, a limited number of illustrations or graphics with, 2 to 3 revisions. And authors go on to marketplaces and you get a mixed bag, because you have people who want to do all things. And what you need is someone who does the thing that you're looking for in excellence. So that is what I'm here to solve. The problem I'm here to solve is underearning by authors and publishing creatives in the self-publishing market space. That's my work, to build the self-publishing ecosystem so that with all the money that is being spent on books, that authors and freelancers or creatives that work with me, that they earn more money and they become premium. The authors become top voices in their genre, and the publishing creatives become premium providers, that they are sought after, that they build a reputation of best-selling books because they have done the editing, the illustration, the narration that elevated that book to bestseller status. So I want to go into a little detail about who this solution is for and who it may not be for. So basically, authors who desire to generate profits, meaningful income from their publishing, and who want to be taken serious by readers because they publish polished, accurate, and engaging books. Authors with goals for multiple books and who want to create additional income streams from their books. This solution is for that author. And authors who want to build a publishing brand in the self-publishing space. Authors who want to build 7-figure revenue as a publisher and a top voice in their genre. That's who this solution is going to be ideal for. In the context of publishing creatives who want to break out of one-time gigs, and who are who have had their fill of race to the bottom pricing. They are my ideal audience for this solution. Publishing creatives who want to establish a brand reputation by contributing to best-selling books. And I said that a moment ago, that, you know, when an author is serious about the impact that they want their book to have, chances are they're going to go to see who edited the book that they admire a great deal. The best-selling book that they admire that was so well written, they would like that editor if they can afford them. And if they can't afford them, they want to get as close to that editor as they can. So that is the work that's involved with building your brand reputation for best-selling books. So you, as a creative, are going to build your reputation that it's going to be known that books that you offer, cover design, narration, illustration, developmental editing, formatting, proofreading, all of those different disciplines within self-publishing, you will be known as the creative that authors want to work with when they're serious about how they want their book to land in the marketplace and generate money for them. I would like to work with publishing creatives who understand the power of collaboration with other stakeholders in the self-published book process. Authors who want to work in their genre and they want to work with the best creatives in the other disciplines for their genre. So these publishing creatives do want to build seven-figure revenue businesses and become premium providers. They want to shed their side hustle image and step into serious business growth, scaling, and earning an income from what they're passionate about. So this is who it's not for. It's not for the aspiring writer or the person who has a one-book vision, a person who only wants to write and publish their book for the personal satisfaction of having achieved it. It's a wonderful thing to self-publish and not have, you don't necessarily need to have an aspiration to be a career author, but that is not the target audience for this solution. I do recommend that even if a writer is seeking to write that one book that's been in their heart that needs to get out into the world, I still believe that author should make the investment in the expertise of the self-publishing ecosystem and not do everything him or herself. So basically, the person who feels that fee-based services is a scam, this is not for them, because that pretty much means that person doesn't value services or wants them free or feels like whatever they produce is good enough. And it may be good enough for that writer, but it's not good enough for the marketplace. Readers have so many choices and they are so discriminating, as they should be, because they're parting with their dollars, right? And they're investing their time. They're giving up the time, their most precious commodity, to read your work. So if you feel like paying for anything related to producing your work is a scam, this solution is definitely not for you. If your definition of self-publishing means doing every single thing yourself, this solution is not for you, because it's promoting the exact opposite of doing everything yourself. As a self-publishing author, yes, you have taken on the responsibility for every piece of the publishing process, but that does not mean that you have to take on execution of every step of the publishing process. So if you, as a publishing creator, a publishing creative, value task-based pricing over value-based pricing, then this is not for you. So basically, this is not for the freelancer who believes that charging per word, per page, per illustration is the only way to be successful in the marketplace. This solution is going to teach and execute a value-based pricing model. So if, as a creative, a publishing creative, you do not value collaborations or do have no desire to work in any team scenarios, via virtually or in person, or to cross collaborate, to cross promote, or if you don't want to work with the same author on multiple projects, this solution may not appeal to you. And that's because the idea, one of the solution involves a bigger vision. And I'll talk about the solution in a minute. So the other reason that this may not appeal to everyone is this solution encourages a creative, and an author to niche down to a genre, because the book, any book that is written cannot possibly appeal to everyone. When you self-publish that book, you have to select a genre, you have to select categories. And so there is some magic in doing that well. And that's what this solution talks about. So the publishing creative who wants to serve every author of every genre and feels that, whatever service they offer works for any kind of book, then, and they're staunch in that, then this solution will not appeal to them, because this solution is about developing a niche, strategizing, executing, and optimizing. And so basically, I'm going to start talking about the solution now. So basically, this is creating niche networks in self-publishing. And that involves building a publishing team. It involves having a vision for multiple books, value-based pricing for the services that are provided by this team to the author. The benefits looks like everyone is building the other team members' business as they build their own. It's a scenario where everyone gets to eat an expensive meal, as opposed to the current model that has the author as the primary beneficiary of the book. When that author, if he or she has done it well, has pulled in the expertise of creatives who have business growth goals as well. So this is a win-win-win. Win for the author, win for the creative, and win for the reader. This is a win-win-win solution that niche networks promotes. So then the strategizing piece of it is creating that niche network, and then identifying those people, the best of the best that you want to work with. Then you step into you're defining your niche for your publishing work, for your clients, and for your business. Then you step into the execution phase of the niche networks. And here we're simply going to be 10xing your network. We're going to be building out your network because you're going to, as an entrepreneur, you're going to be using publishing as a profit mechanism for your business. And so that by definition, that means that you don't get that done in one book. So there's a saying in publishing that the best promotion for a book is another book. So it's, it's about a bigger vision than publishing one book. And then when we get to the optimizing piece of the niche networks, that's where you are doing the monetization of your network, and you are earning more money. And you are, if you haven't already, you would then be publishing your thought leadership book. And this is not only the author publishing that book. This could look like a book set that highlights the skills and expertise of the other publishing team members, because they, as the author is becoming a top voice in the genre selected, that publishing team is becoming premier providers. Members of that team are becoming premier service providers. In that leadership, that thought leadership and strategy is also a tool for them to attract more clients in their business when they write their how I did X in Y amount of time or with X amount of resources. So that is the problem and solution discussion that I wanted to have. I feel like this is not necessarily what you would be told. And certainly it's not necessarily widely promoted in self-publishing. It's kind of like the author, all of the data that is available to the author has value for the publishing creatives who supported that author, but there's really no way for them to have access to that information except if the author feels generous. And this is a new ecosystem strategy that will help the providers, the creatives, prosper and help the author prosper even more. Not more than them, but as much as is in favor of the author now, with the tools that are available, with the sales data, the analytics, and all of that information. That continues, but this solution here is going to make sure that the entire team elevates, similar to the way that it's structured now, where only the author elevates. So that is pretty much the work that I'm committed to in the self-publishing space. And I'm going to be happy to describe one of the steps on how to do it, how to get started. I'll be going through the process, but in a future video, I'm going to demonstrate how it works. So thank you so much for listening. So happy that you gave me the precious gift of your time for this video, and I wish you a stellar day.